So when I do my alternative treatments, Reiki and stuff, healing, I can see everything that the client needs to know. I see it around this client lying before me. So everything comes just in flowing.
Wow. So this blue line, this sounds to me like a zone of transition. Is
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
fair to say? A
Yeah.
transitional zone where it's almost as though as if like you have heightened your frequency to a point to be able to travel here to receive it, your consciousness to
Mm,
receive this that is meant for you to receive intentionally, right? And
mm,
they are coming to a space in which it can still be shared, but they don't necessarily cross over that line, or else there would be an immersion here
yeah.
with us. Is that
Yeah.
something that sounds correct and
Yeah,
valid?
it does. Yeah. And it looked like the blue line behind me on this
Oh,
picture. Yeah. And I know that when I cross over this line, I change appearance. I get all white hair, crystal white hair, and I get a lot of taller and thinner than I am. And I have my brown eyes, but I'm all white for the rest of the body. So my skin is very pale too. But I can see it on myself when I if I look at myself. So sometimes when I do meditation out there, I ask for a mirror so that I can look at myself. And that is quite interesting to see how I look.
oh wow.
Yeah.
I've heard of people doing this intentionally in their astral travel or their dream sequence with lucid dreaming
Mm,
and setting the stage intentionally because it's the energy world, and so you have access to whatever it is that you want access to in that
mm,
moment, and
mm.
asking for a mirror is genius. I love that. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
I've had my own sequences of visions. They've come very unexpectedly. It sounds as though you have fine-tuned these experiences in a way that you are entering into them with intentionality for in a way of service to those who are aligned with your orbit,
Mm,
your clients and the participants in the experiences at your studio. And this is this is something that you enter into almost like a consultation, if you will,
yeah.
with other realms.
Mm,
And that's not been my experience with those experiences. They've kind of just come at me out of nowhere, and it was like a revelation shifting moment, but it wasn't something that I entered into intentionally. Is this something that came with time and practice of intentional meditation and visualization?
mm. Not for me, because for me it's been I have had three I guess people call it Kundalini arisings. I call it transformations. I have had three in one in a row every year, and it was so powerful that my body starts to shake. I had a high vibration in the body, and I told my spouse, I guess it's called, that I'm going to explode all over the walls, and you are going to have to wash me off the walls. And he said, "What?" That was my feeling because it was all vibrational, high vibrational inside my body. And I thought, now I'm going to explode. But instead of exploding, I got this consciousness that I never thought I could have. And after that, three sessions, one every year. And that's about I guess it's about 7 or 8 years now back. There was, I think that time they told me that this is what you are going to teach and help people to see and awakening people. So I did not sit in meditation or tried. This came natural for me. And some people says, "Oh, I'm jealous of you. I have to work, work, and you just have to happen in this." Yeah, I didn't work for it because it just came to me. And I guess it's a if I was younger, I don't think that I had this experience when I was younger. I have to be older and wiser and experienced and enough of mental skills to understand what it is I'm going through.
I want to ask you this, Carina. Projectors have a way of connecting. Seemingly, a lot of people that are projectors find it easier to connect with one person at a time in a one-on-one sequence of energetic exchange. I get a different feel from you. I'm
Mm.
curious what it looks like whenever clients engage in soul realignment practices and experiences. Is this a one-to-many experience, or is it very individualized based on each person's unique purpose to be explored?
Yeah, I think it's one too many.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
That's the impression that you were giving me, that I think that that is a different flavor. And I feel as though when projectors arrived with a different aura type than the others that had been here a while, um, that there was a shift in how energetic exchange was occurring on planet Earth. But I do believe that you and other projectors are going back to the word transitional. I
Mm.
believe that you are a transitional form of the human species in this new way of exchanging energy. Now, whenever you first got here to Earth, I think that there was a lot more to be gained in a one-to-one sequencing. But I feel like intuitively, I feel with you here today that there's this like up leveling that's occurring.
Mm.
And your work speaks of a different one-to-many sequencing of mentorship and guidance and transformation
Mm.
that's different from the previous paradigm that in the way that was exercised. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, because I started out with one-to-one sessions, but it came to be more important to have one-to-many sessions because I have noticed that almost every course attendance or client that comes to me, they they are not relatives, but they are from the same group.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I think they are drawn to me, because they know that their tribe is with me.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone that's been on a course that I have, or client, they keep in touch. So we are almost like best friends in this tribe. It's a big tribe today, really.
That's incredible. Oh man, you gave me soul tingles just like talking about that just now. And immediately what went into my awareness was the crystals of consciousness and how they are just outside of Earth's atmosphere in little clusters. And
Mm,
then human design prophecy speaks of these clusters of crystals seeding into human bodies, and they seed into similar family arrangements or into aligned people that are meant to be working together. I'm a
mm,
film and cinematography kind of nerd, and
yeah.
I like to think of them as actors guilds, where these
Mm,
actors like to play in the same productions because of what they benefit from, the type of exchange that they know and they are familiar with, and that they're continuing to grow from, these connections. And just it's almost as if it's written, pre-written, because of the way in which these people are drawn to work with you. It's like they know already, as soon as they see you and hear you speak, it really matters not what's being discussed. It's more that this is written and it's aligned and it was always meant to work out this way. Is that something that you've experienced with most of your clients?
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And it's fun to hear then when they come and they say, I just felt drawn to you. You were going to be my mentor. And I think, okay, at first I thought, what the hell? What, it doesn't says anything about that on my web page. But they told me that no, I just saw your picture and I got the message, this is the one. So that is just cool stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
It it's incredible whenever you can kind of just let go and allow that to happen,
Mm,
because there's a lot of emphasis on lead generation and proper marketing of your services in these ways that people are trying to make things happen, and certainly taking the measures to fulfill the manifested outcomes that you see in your mind's eye. That is one thing, but to really relinquish that control and know that those who are meant to sync with your orbit are being led there by the greater purpose, the bigger
mm,
picture, the universe at large, God, spirit, call it what you will.
mm.
And the just kind of submitting and surrendering to that and knowing it's a vital piece that I believe that the collective is in need of remembering.
Yeah. It was like this weekend I had this coworker. He came down to have a course in instant transformation here in Borås, where I live. And there was this course attendance who I was going to work with. I was the one who served them with coffee and tea and stuff. But this course, this teacher, he said, Carina, can you be in so you can teach, you can work with this person here? Yeah. And we started to triangulating in instant transformation, where you put yourself out of the space and you let the quantum field get in, and you can load down everything that's yours in this field to your physical body. And when I was helping this course attendance, he said to me, well, this is crazy, he said, because I was going to help you, but it feels like you are helping me. So my body just took over and filled him with energy and high vibration. So he was almost flying in this studio. It was so great to see when he went home. He said, I have never felt like this before. You have given me the world. So that was all. I was really surprised, but I was always thankful because I could help him, even though it was was going to help me. So it was vice versa there. Mm.
You can't make this stuff up. It unfolds in the way it's meant to. And I can attest to that testimony of his that even though I've only had the benefit of being in your aura of energetic exchange by way of the virtual landscape, I can attest to that experience. There are certain aspects of your chart also that I can see in which when I come into connection with you, and the energy field that you are bringing to the table, it connects many different channels for me and it activates centers that are not otherwise out of proximity of energetic exchange with you. And it's fascinating to experience this. And I think it's really interesting to be able to see what it is that is lighting up in one person and how another person is activating that in their field.
Mm, mm. This is something that is really interesting because when I do my soul realignment sessions from one to one with clients, they almost always feel me at their place, even though it's miles away from me. They can project me, or I project myself, as you know, in Star Wars, Princess Leia, from this little robot. So they see me just behind them or beside them when we work. And that is always what happens in my spiritual inner travels too. When I start the spiral, they can see how I enter and they enter, and they see me beside them.
Mm-hmm.
So that is really awesome that you can project your energy field somewhere else at the same time as I am here.
Mm. Yes, absolutely. I believe the world of the internet opened up our awareness of that as
Mm.
an actual reality. That when we are in the proximity of another's energy, we can feel it within ourselves. Because prior to that, I mean, we had telephones and maybe we could, certainly having certain phone calls and conversations would make us feel in a certain way. But I believe that the internet enhanced our awareness
Mm.
of energetic exchange with other people. But there's really no substitute to being up close and personal, like face to face in person, in body with another
Mm.
person. And I think this is something that a lot of people in the States, you'll have to tell me if this is the case in Europe, but a lot of people in the States are shying away from this kind of connection with people. I think since what transpired in 2020, that this has been something of overwhelm for a lot of people to be in a shared space with one another. But I see you on your socials and everything that you're up to, it's all in person. It's all up close and
Mm.
personal. And there's no shying away from meaningful connections and transformations that it's you are stepping head first into that. And I think
Yeah.
that's inspiring for a lot of people.
Yeah, yeah. And I think I guess that people in Sweden that I know that meets with me, they want to be in the place physically. So not so much online.
Hmm.
And I guess I would love to work more with people in USA or further away from Sweden, because it would be awesome to learn to speak English, not to be and
No, just for context to our viewers, Karina, I want to tell everyone that Karina has actually served as an English translator during multiple different classes and experiences that she's holding at her studio. She is paving the way for connections to be taking place all over the globe. She has people coming from other countries to share workshops and trainings and healing in person there at her studio in Sweden. Like, this is the intentional work that she has aligned herself with. English not being her first language, she
no.
throws herself out there. And I know it's not the only time you've done that, where you have stepped in to translate to Swedish speakers what this English presenter is sharing and how it's going to change their life.
Yeah.
I love that you are opening up that platform for aligned work and work that is complementary to the work that you intend to do. I think that is a characteristic of the new form of leadership, because we're entering into a different circuitry of the individual. And I mean, every individual, we are each and every one of us a universe in and of ourselves.
Mm,
And opening up those networks, like you as a 2-4 profile line is keen on doing. You are opening up this, I almost see it as kind of a central marketplace of energetic exchanges and interconnective, collaborative, meaningful encounters between souls that are meant to connect in the ways that
yeah.
they are. And
Mm,
you're waging all of your resources to that
mm,
effort, and I
mm.
just commend you for it. I'm super excited about everything that's happening in your studio, and I hope to see it one day. I really hope to visit.
I hope
I,
so too.
I can't wait for that potential that we've already discussed,
Mm,
because I'll be honest and vulnerable in a moment here in saying that I'm one of those Americans that has had trouble stepping out of the comfort of my own proximal zone, and the prospect of stepping into the unknown, into another country with Swedish speakers and those who have never heard of human design and what it is I have to share, and just reflecting on everything that I would be able to gain from that exchange.
mm,
It lights me up from the inside out. So
mm,
I can't wait for that to unfold in the way it's meant to.
mm. Human design is really, really interesting, and it's a big thing in Sweden right now, but not so many Swedish human designers that teaches human design here. So I thought, why not tell Jenna to come to Sweden and teach it?
I've
Yeah.
connected with so many amazing Swedish people in the decade that I've been in this work, and I can attest to that. I believe that there are really valued gems of insight and connection to other realms that I believe that Swedish people and Scandinavian people as a whole have a deeper connection to that, that ability to be able to connect in that way, and in ways that other people from other countries, like myself, like many others, I believe this is going to span the globe in its entirety, and in how many different lives it's going to intersect with. And
Yeah. Mm.
um, I can already see it. So we're going to share that link for people to get a better look at this studio.
We are going to have everything covered, because everyone comes to me and says, "Oh, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that?" So I felt, well, I have to have a studio or a center for everything. So we can be at one place. And the most important thing, I guess, is that everyone that feels something, that something is opening or awakening, they need somewhere to go to speak to likewise people that have experienced the same thing but earlier. So they don't think that they are stupid or you know, they have
Losing their
somewhere.
mind or
Yeah, yeah. They have to have somewhere to go to meet people. And as you said before, all these souls that are in this same tribe, they need to meet somewhere. And that is what the center is going to accomplish for these people.
that's incredible. It's a beautiful vision. I can see it with you. And it's a space of fellowship and
Mm,
a supportive understanding that you're not alone in what it is that you're encountering, but your experience is unique and it's appreciated and even celebrated to continue on your way in the way that you're meant to up level. I love
mm.
this. And it speaks to your environment, Karina, that I'm noticing here you have an internal markets environment. And this is you are creating a sacred space where
Yeah.
something different is made available here. And you won't find it in the external. It's only in this protected. It's a boundary because it does need to be protected because of how crucial and vital it is to all those who are a part.
Mm,
And it's an internal markets where there is a system of exchange of information taking place here. And it is like magic. I can see why she
yeah.
called you a magician.
Mm, yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Thank you so much for joining me today, Karina. Your energy is always a blessing to intersect with. And I can't wait for future trajectories of connection and energetic exchange between our fields.
thank you so much for having me. It was just as fun this time as last time. And I am so grateful for speaking English for once.
Your
Yeah.
English, you shouldn't knock it, lady. It's incredible. I'm digging it. I love having conversations with you. Sometimes, oftentimes more than native English speakers. I'll just come out and say it.
Thank you.
So much fun. Thank you, Karina. And
Thank you.
you are such a gift to this world. Take a look at the link about this studio and its grand opening that's going to be happening very soon. And connect with Karina for future possibilities of exchange in how it is that you are viewing your life purpose in this world.